We're getting towards the end of the series of episodes I'm doing that coincide with the 12 masterclasses I'm giving for 2024. Each of these podcasts are just a little snippet of what goes on during those 2-hour masterclasses, and the link will be in the description if you're interested in taking those 12 classes. Today, we're talking about how to pay yourself, because that's something that a lot of food truck owners put at the bottom of the to-do list. Welcome to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. My name is Bill Moore. I am a food truck business coach, author of 5 food truck vending books, including Food Truck 101 and Food Truck 201. This podcast is all about helping you start and grow your food truck business. Table Needs welcomes you to listen in as Christian and Tracy, co-owners of Restless Coffee, spill the beans on their debut year in the food truck scene, uncover the secrets behind their secret menu, how they continually provide stellar customer service, and why building a strong community following is so important. Click the link in the episode description to watch the video for free. All right, paying yourself, that is super important because after all, we got to make money to be able to pay the bills that we have personally, and then also have a little bit of money left over to actually enjoy life. So let's talk about how you can pay yourself as a food truck owner. First things first, as Stephen Covey says, understand your personal finances is key, as well as understanding the finances of your business. You need an extremely clear picture of your revenue, of your expenses, and then the profit margins your business creates. This insight is so essential to you being able to determine what your salary should be. Now, I talk about this in the break-even point that we do. Include a modest salary to pay yourself. So tip number 1, you got to separate the personal expenses from your business expenses and both of those finances. You got to treat the business, your food truck, as a separate entity. It creates its own income through your sales, and it pays for its own expenses through its sales. That's the cash flow. If the business is incapable of doing that, you have a hobby, and you got to figure out how do I increase the sales or how do I decrease the expenses so that the business lives within its means. Now, that is just Business Finance 101. You got to have a separate account for the business and a separate account for your personal. Has to be that way. If you lump it all together, at the point that you get sued, everything becomes at risk. Your home, your car, your clothing, all of that. Keep the two things separated. Now, your salary, and I'm talking a modest salary, needs to be a part of your break-even point. And what is a modest salary? It should pay your personal financial needs. The key word there is needs, not wants. You want to go to Disney World. You need to pay the electric bill. You need to buy groceries for the family. So it should pay the needs that you have. And whatever that is, that becomes the salary your business has to pay back to you, which means you build break-even point around that salary. Now, there's 2 other ways that you're going to make money with your business that you're going to be able to pay yourself. Number 1 is you gave your business money to start, and that's technically a loan. I always find it very funny when people on our Facebook group say that I started without a loan. Well, you couldn't have. Your business got a loan from you at the very least because you injected money to buy something to create that business. So the business borrowed money from you, whether you want to call it that or not. Now, since the business got money from you and whatever terminology you feel good about, the business still owes you money and it needs to be paying you back in a systematic way. Whether that's $100 a month, $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, doesn't matter. But it is an expense that the business has to pay, which is money that you get as owner. But it's not a salary because it's basically a loan repayment. Now you've got that kind of money coming into your business. And then the last way that you make money as a business owner is a bonus on what's left over after all the bills are paid. So remember, you paid yourself back a small portion. You paid back the loan. Again, $100 a month, $1,000 a month. Then the second way you're getting money is from the salary. You are the business owner and you're paying a salary for what your hands do on that food truck. So if your hands are flipping burgers, you deserve some type of salary that makes sense for somebody flipping burgers. And again, that should cover your basic needs of your personal life. And then we got to pay for your brain. How do we pay for your brain? That's going to be the bonus. The bonus is going to be based on the profitability of your food truck. Because remember, if your food truck's not profitable, that means your brain isn't earning its keep. Your hands are earning their keep because they're flipping burgers or they're taking orders. So they deserve to get paid for that. But the brain doesn't get paid until the business makes money. And you're paying your brain part of the profits. Not all of them, because some of the profits has to go back into the business to build it. Another key component of being able to pay yourself is being able to sustain growth. Food trucks have two different types of growth when they first open. It's either rocket ship growth, where they're just every week is better than the last week, or it is growth, and then, down we go. Very rarely do you see a very calm line of steady growth. It's either going to be rocket ship or it's going to be growth, and then, we're declining. What you want to do is sustain the growth. So if you do $7,000 this week, how do you do $7,001 next week? You've always got to be looking at, how do I market myself better? How do I improve speed of service to get more people through the line? How do I reduce my expenses so I can put more money to the bottom line? You've always got to be thinking about those things. So again, if you do $7,000 this week, how are we going to market? How are we going to do our social media to sustain the $7,000 and get more next week? You've always got to be growing. And if you're one of those folks that opens inconsistently, then you're looking at, if my typical day is $1,000, how do I make sure the next time I open, I pull 1,100? And again, it comes back to, how do I market? How do I get faster? How do I get people coming to my business? Got to ask those questions. You got to think ahead for the slow seasons, because we know there's going to be a slow season no matter where you live. I live in Florida. People think that we don't have a slow season, but we do. We actually have very wild pattern swings in Florida because it depends on who is coming to vacation. So if you're talking about the winter, we have snowbirds. Most snowbirds have money, and the way that they got money was not spending a whole bunch of it when they were younger. So they're in the habit of not spending money when they're older. So they may load up their RV and drive to Florida. We have a whole bunch of them around us right now that load up their RV and come to stay in our RV park, but they don't spend not a nickel at the food truck. Their money is already spoken for. They've already budgeted it. They want to spend it going out and doing things like going to different parts of Florida. So what that does to us as a business is we're slower during the snowbird season. They cherry pick. They want deals. They want specials. They want buy one, get one. They want discounts. So the sales actually decline for us in the winter months, just like they do everywhere else around the country. Even though we have a whole bunch of people here, they ain't spending money. Now come spring break, we have the spring breakers come. Different kind of clientele. They're spending willy-nilly because 100% of every meal that they are buying is outside of the hotel. So they're spending money to do entertaining things, and they're spending money to buy food. And of course, buy a whole bunch of alcohol. That's spring break. So we're real busy at spring break. Spring break transitions into family vacation time. So you're thinking, well, that's got to be busier. And in some cases it is, but in some cases it's not. Because the families will also eat inside the room. They will bring food. They'll go to the grocery store. They'll prepare food within the room to save themselves money to do things that they want to spend, like go to Disney World. So there are different seasons even in Florida. So you want to prepare as a business owner for whatever your slow season is, whenever it is. How am I going to generate enough sales to set aside some money to get me through those lean months? Because you know they're coming. You don't need a crystal ball. You know there's going to be lean months. Start setting money aside for those today. You're going to reinvest in your business. Remember I talked about you pay yourself a salary, you pay yourself the loan payment back, and then you take a portion of the profits as a bonus. You deserve those. You are the business owner. You deserve something. However, you don't take 100% of the profits. Some of those profits had to be interjected back into the business to help it grow, to replace equipment, to fix things that are broken, to buy newer equipment that's faster or bigger or better. You're investing in the business to increase the profitability. And then hopefully it will also increase your salary in the long run. Last thing I want to tell you about is personal financial planning. Go find an expert. Get yourself some money set aside for your future. You cannot work your food truck until you're 70 or 80 and you die. You want to be able to be like some of those snowbirds and drive to places and be that cheapskate. But you can't do that unless you plan for your own future. Living off Social Security is fixed income, and they don't pay you very well. Have money set aside in retirement accounts for yourself and your family when you get to that age. And whatever that age may be. You'd retire at 50 if you work really hard, but you don't want to retire at 80 because you didn't set aside money. So remember, we're in 12 episode arc. We're drawing to the end. Got a couple more episodes left to go. There'll be a link in the description if you're interested in taking the 2-hour classes for all these different topics I've been talking about over the last 12 episodes. Thank you so much for listening to the 10-Minute Food Truck Training Podcast. If you're finding all the information helpful to your food truck business, please become a monthly supporter of the podcast. Just hit the support button or follow the link in the description. Every little bit does help keep us going. Join our Facebook group. It's called Food Truck Training. We have a whole bunch of awesome members at all different levels, from brand new beginners to decades-old veterans. They've all got your back when it comes to helping you with your food truck. And again, thank you for listening. Come back tomorrow because I got plenty more to say when it comes to helping you and your food truck business grow.